My name's Mark. What you see up here, this is the old Job farm right here. Elihu Job was my great-great-great-grandfather. This was the remains of his old cabin right here. There's my dad over there. This cabin was originally built around 1833 when he and his wife moved and settled here. 2025 now, and this is all that's left of the property.
The first task on this was to get the 800 nails out of it, then to figure out what parts were going to be used for what. We needed parts for the top of the table and the legs, but not just that, it needed to make sense visually. By this I mean, some of these are from the gable, some are floor beams, and each one of them has their own variety of notches and unique characteristics.
6.5 inches, we'll cut it in half. So probably 3.25.
Due to the size of these, I figured the easiest way to handle them would be with a chainsaw and the sawmill. Since this cabin was built in 1833, if you look at the rings on this tree started its growth in the late 1700s. Elihu Job, the original owner, was known for his cabinetry, furniture, and casket building. This home was built with half dovetail corner joints and hand-hewn logs. Architectural historians make a distinct difference between log cabins and log homes. Log cabins are smaller and more temporary, and log homes are larger with more attention to detail.
I'm going to go 2 5/8 because I think that gives us the best chance to recover outside of the pith.
Yeah.
Even though I was pretty sure 193-year-old lumber was stable, I wanted to make sure I cut the pith out of this. This project took place over the span of about 4 months. It wasn't intended to take that long, but due to some planned events and some unplanned events, that's just kind of how it happened. I used the electric hand planer quite a bit on this project, but I used it in moderation on the end grain because of the tear out. At this point, things were running pretty smooth. The little things you just kind of had to laugh off.
I see that. Ta-da!
To join these together, I figured dowels for alignment and a whole lot of glue. Once it was glued up, it made all that effort worth it. In order to eliminate snipe, I ran a sacrificial board with this. To make this thing a little more manageable, I went with figure 8s to attach the top. I think 8 of these for each one is really overkill. It was definitely a little extra work too, but since this area was going to be completely hidden, I didn't have to be perfect with it. Yeah, that looks good. So remember that drawing at the beginning of the video? That was drawn by Mark's dad of the original home. We figured it only made sense to tie that to the project since it was built from the actual lumber of the home. Unlike most of my projects where I intend to put the logo on and then I never get it done, get distracted and whatnot, this one actually got one on it. So the project was finally coming to a close. For some lumber that was milled and then air dried for 193 years, these boards were ready to live again as a coffee table. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was fun bringing these pieces of history back to life. If you're interested in more Job history, I'll leave a link in the description to that. Thanks for watching, and as usual, if you made it this far in the video, like and subscribe. One more thing, if you're ever in the Murfreesboro courthouse, you might just see one of these on display.